At this time, the doors are open for everybody to enter.
Good morning. My name is Tobin Wilkins, and I am one of the pastors here at Skyline Church. And on behalf of myself and our team, we'd like to express our heartfelt condolences to the Craven family, to the Mesa Police Department, and to law enforcement all over our county, up and down our state, and across our nation. At Skyline Church, part of our very DNA is a deep love and respect for our first responders. We recognize the sacrifices that you make on a daily basis, the courage it takes to protect and serve our communities, the long hours, the unseen burdens. And today we want to tell you how much we appreciate you, and it truly is an honor to be able to host this for you and for the Craven family. Our house is your house, and this morning we stand with you in grief, in gratitude, and in support as we remember and honor the life of Officer Lauren Craven. Thank you.
My name is Chuck Price. I have the privilege of serving as a chaplain with officers from the San Diego Police Department, El Cajon Police Department, Coronado Police Department, and the California Highway Patrol. I want to thank Tobin and the Skyline staff for just being incredible hosts as we celebrate the life of Lauren Craven. I also want to thank the many, many, many officers, deputies, and civilians who helped plan out all the events and movements today and throughout this past week. To David, Belle, Margot, the rest of the Craven family, Miles, and the La Mesa PD family. I hope that you feel the love of hundreds of brothers and sisters in blue, tan, and green that have come from near and far to be with you all today. These are noble community servants who know to their core that we never forget, and we come alongside of our family in their time of need. The outpouring of love and commitment does not end, because while Lauren was the one who wore the uniform, the Craven family is now part of our family, and we take care of our family. Before we move to the tributes for Lauren, I want to acknowledge that we all find ourselves in a most difficult place today. We've been in that place for a little over a week, a place we did not choose, a place we couldn't fathom, but a place that is our painful reality. With that being said, I want to invite all of you to simply be. Be present with what you feel and the grief and the loss that you have experienced. Let the tears flow if you are sad. Laugh at a funny story that may be shared. Sit in silence and get lost in the imprint that Lauren has left on your life. Smile at a memory that is etched in your heart and mind. This is a safe space for that. Our hope is that today will be a blessing for all of you, and that you will all walk away from here knowing Lauren a little bit more from what you will hear in just a few minutes. Will you please pray with me? Heavenly Father, a mighty king and military leader who was facing seemingly insurmountable odds, looked to heaven and said, "We do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you." That is where we find ourselves today. We are at a loss and need for something bigger than ourselves to get us through. I pray that you will bring peace to our souls, that you will give us strength when we are weak, that we will hold our friends and family up when they are in need, and that you will help us to take the very best of Lauren and carry that with us the rest of our lives. Please be with each speaker who comes to share their relationship with Lauren. May this be a beautiful time of celebrating Lauren, her life, and the gift that she was and will continue to be for so many. Amen. At this time, I'd like to begin our time of tributes by introducing to you Dr. Mark Arapostathis, the mayor of La Mesa.
morning. I'm Mark Rapistathis, the mayor of the city of La Mesa. Several years ago, our city manager instituted a policy whereupon all new people that were being hired and joining our family had to meet with the city manager and the mayor. And so I had the honor of meeting Officer Craven shortly after she was sworn in to the La Mesa Police Department. What struck me first about Lauren, of course, was her youth and her sense of humor, because as she came in and sat down in my office, I had to say something about how young she was. And because if you know me, I make a joke about everything, so I said to her, "This will be brief because I know you don't want to be tardy to your 5th period algebra class." So she was very kind and she laughed at my dad joke and then shot right back, "Good, because we have a quiz today." As a teacher of 33 years, I've come to recognize those young people who have wisdom beyond their years. And Lauren was one of those exceptional people. During our conversation, she shared with me some personal things about her life, how and why she wanted to become a police officer, that someone in law enforcement had helped her, and that she wanted to give back and truly wanted to give back. And during the conversation, she talked about wanting to help others. It was clear that she was motivated and that she had a calling, and it was that and the love of her family and a sense of real duty that she achieved her goal. She joined the La Mesa Police Department and immediately started making a difference. I had the opportunity to see Lauren in the field many times at community events, and most recently several weeks ago at our Oktoberfest. And she was always personable, professional, kind, approachable. Her natural ability to connect with people of La Mesa would seem to be the thing that shined through the most. And over the past week, as I've been out and about at the grocery store or wherever, people of La Mesa have been compelled to come up and just share their personal stories about Lauren with me. And the through line, the theme of all of that is that she cared. She wanted to help. Her dedication and her genuine care for others has touched so many lives. My last name is Rapistathis. You probably can guess I'm Greek. And in the Greek Orthodox Church, when we lose a family member, we say, Oina Mininivis. And what it means is, may their memory be eternal. May the memory of Officer Lauren Craven be eternal. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce La Mesa Police Chief Ray Sweeney.
Not as tall as the mayor. Well, good morning. I'm sure, like me, everyone in this room has a ton of emotions. Sadness, anger, you name it. But let me tell you, Lauren saved lives that fateful night. She ran towards the danger and did not hesitate. So today we gather with heavy but full hearts to honor a remarkable police officer, colleague, and friend, Lauren Craven. You know, it warms my heart to see so many people here to honor her life and sacrifice, so thank you for being here. Lauren, her smile and her resiliency is a light that will shine forever on our La Mesa community. She loved what she did. She loved the community she served. It has always been my passion to serve others, and there has never been a doubt in my mind that being in law enforcement is what I am meant to do. These are Lauren's words. And if you ever had the privilege to work with her, alongside her, you knew it wasn't just a line. It was the truth. From day one, Lauren carried herself with the quiet confidence of someone who'd already figured out what she was meant to do. She didn't stumble into this career. She ran towards it, towards the danger, not away from it. That's what we do when we choose this career. And that's what Lauren was. That's who she was. Lauren had that rare blend of toughness and heart that defines the best of us. She could handle the hardest calls, stand her ground when things got rough, and still be the first one to offer a smile when the moment allowed. Lauren was an officer who cared deeply about her partners, her community, and the badge she wore. She didn't just serve, she connected. She had a way of calming people down in tense situations, of making others feel seen, respected, and safe. That was her gift. She represented the very best of what it means to be a La Mesa police officer. Service above self, compassion in action, and courage under pressure. Today we feel her absence profoundly, but I also know that Lauren wouldn't want us standing here just in sadness. She'd want us to carry forward with strength, laughter, and purpose, the way she lived every single day. You know, I've been fortunate to hear some amazing stories about Lauren from her family and friends in recent days. And I know that it's now I know that it's not just my granddaughter who can live on chicken nuggies, mac and cheese, and Uncrustables. As a matter of fact, I am now convinced that it's the diet of a hero. So let's honor her by doing what she always did, showing up for one another, leading with heart, and remembering to find a little humor even when the world feels so heavy. Lauren knew what she was meant to be, and to be in law enforcement. And she proved it every day that she belonged here. Our department, our city, our community are better because she was a part of it. Thank you, David and Belle, for raising such an amazing human. Thank you, Lauren, for your service, your laughter, and your example. You will always be a part of this family. Rest easy, Guardian. We have the watch from here. Next, I would like to invite up her TOs.
Good morning. My name is Amber Bolton. With me is Anastacio, Ricardo Pinon, and Eric Valdez. We were Lauren's training staff from the San Diego Regional Academy, and we are honored to have been asked by her family to say a few words. Lauren started the 138th Academy on March 11th, 2024. And if you think the training staff isn't judging you from the minute you come down those stairs, you're wrong. Lauren was tall, thin, and sorry, Lauren, you didn't appear very athletic. Over the next few months, she worked hard and excelled in both academics and practical applications. And as for the physical training, although it wasn't her strong suit, she kept up with the rest of the pack. One thing that stood out to us was the way she ran. Imagine how a supermodel walks on the runway. Now picture them running. That was Lauren. Unfortunately, Lauren failed a shotgun test in June, which resulted in a retest that she ultimately failed on July 3rd. This was devastating not only for Lauren, but for us as well. When I walked her to her car that night, I hugged her and had to fight back tears because I knew how hard she had worked to get to that point. I reassured her that if needed, her TOs would go to bat for her with La Mesa command staff to get her into the next academy. She definitely was someone who deserved a second chance. On September 9th, 2024, Lauren rejoined us in the 140th Academy, and boy, was she motivated. This time, she had 4 other La Mesa recruits under her wing. Since she had already been in an academy and knew how the game was played, we made Lauren the first section leader. The first time she came into the office to check in, her command presence and the sheer volume of her voice blew us away. Throughout the academy, Lauren continued to be a leader, and this was confirmed by her peers and what they wrote in their final peer evaluations. Some of those examples include most liked in the section, willing to help everyone succeed, positive energy, compassionate, caring, always helps others before herself, squared away, and a true blessing. Just as most recruits respect their training staff, we also respect those recruits who show up every day with a positive attitude and who were willing to put in the work to accomplish their goals. Lauren had to go through 2 week ones, which I'm sure all of you that have been through the academy know that's not very fun. She got gassed and OC'd twice, took several classes and tests twice, but she never complained or asked for a pass. She knew what needed to get done, and she did it. Failure was not an option. Lauren's hard work, drive, and determination helped her to succeed, and she graduated on March 7th, 2025. For us as training staff, this is an equally proud moment as we spend 6 months helping mold the recruits into baby cops, as we so affectionately call them. During week 1, we tell the recruits, everything will be earned and never given. Lauren definitely earned her badge and the title of police officer. We love you, Lauren, and you will never be forgotten.
Good morning. My name is Jordan Edwards, and Lauren was one of my best friends. There's so many people in here who knew her, loved her, and adored her. But for the people in here who never had the privilege, I want to take this time to tell you a little bit about my best friend. Lauren was a force to be reckoned with, determined to always be the best that she could possibly be. She was the most beautiful person inside and out. And Lauren had this walk, as you've heard, she walked like she was a model, just glided across the floor, and a smile that lit up every room. Her diet consisted mainly of Coke, chocolate milk, chicken nuggies, which were usually cold, and Uncrustables. Those were a food group for her. When we met in the academy, we started talking about why we wanted this career. Lauren spoke with this type of certainty in her voice that she was going to be the officer that anyone could rely on, no matter the situation. She wanted to be the peace and strength for people in their hardest moments. And she was, but not just when she was in uniform, she was just that in her everyday life. Lauren was the type of friend you could call when you were having a bad day, when you were about to go on a first date and you were nervous, when you had good news or just needed to talk. She dropped everything, no questions asked, and was always there. Lauren and I had many traditions, but in my opinion, the best two were our world-famous chest bumps that we did every chance we got, and our Thursday night Texas Roadhouse dinners. Every other Thursday, 7 p.m., there we were, sitting in a booth, talking about all the calls she had been on, all the things we'd learned, and just rambling on about life and how much we loved this career. We had just gone the Thursday before we lost her and celebrated her birthday. We talked about our friends and how proud we were of the officers and deputies that they were becoming, and how about in 10 years, we'd all be running the show. We used to say Chief Craven had a really nice ring to it. We talked about our future kids and how they'd all be best friends and would have the coolest, most badass aunties to look up to. I really struggled writing the speech because how do I pick just one memory out of the millions I have to share? How do I put into words the amazing person Lauren was? But I don't need to find the words. Lauren's actions always spoke for her. Every person she met, every call she went to, even in her final moments, she was always selfless. We lost an amazing human, but we gained an amazing guardian angel. She is and always will be a true hero. Lauren, I love you, and I'm so honored to have known you. Rest easy. We have it from here.
My name is Taylor Persitza. I was one of Lauren's training officers after she completed the academy. I was asked to speak here by the family, and I have to say to you all, it's one of the greatest honors of my life. I was completely blown away and floored when you asked me, and truly honored. I'm so sorry for all of your losses, David, Belle, Margot, Miles, and the rest of the family. This has definitely been the hardest week of my law enforcement career, as I'm sure it has for many others within our group. I was Lauren's Phase 2 training officer, which, just to give some context for those who don't know, our phase training is 4 phases. The first phase is a shadow phase, so most of the time the new officer is just learning, watching what we're doing, just to see it, how it's done. There's a significant amount of learning done in Phase 2 because now they're starting to take over and get more hands-on. There's 31 main training anchors that we cover, all of which have subcategories, so we're evaluating everything from the way officers stand, where they stand, how they stand, why they stood there, let alone all the penal codes, vehicle codes that we have to get through with them. So there's a lot they're being evaluated on. A simple 2-minute traffic stop can take 20 minutes to debrief because we have so much stuff we're talking about. So usually at this point, they don't know that much, but pretty quickly I could tell Lauren already had a lot of the anchors. She was very competent in them. A lot of times when you debrief trainees and you're telling them critique or constructive criticism, they're kind of giving you the deer in the headlight look. They're nodding yes, and you know they don't understand what you're saying. I can't recall a single time that happened with Lauren. It was always very clear she was comprehending what I was saying and why I was saying it, in every explanation, and almost never was a mistake repeated or just an improvement not made even on the very next call. I could see it immediately taking hold, and that just made it really easy to train her. She was so eager to go to calls to learn more and improve. On one call, we responded to a family dispute that had several criminal and civil issues we had to evaluate. Lauren took control. I don't think I said a thing the entire call, and I watched her work through each element of that call and evaluate it. By the end, she determined No police action had to be taken, but she was still able to provide the family with some options, some resources to kind of get through what they were going through. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, how am I going to debrief to her? What should I say? And the only word I could think of was, that was textbook. It was perfect. Like, I have nothing to say. And she finishes speaking to the person. I walk away, and it just so happened our cover officer was another training officer. He's just there to cover. He's not specifically evaluating her, but we're all watching. And before I could say anything, he looked at her and said, "That was textbook." And I was like, took the words right out of my mouth. So just seeing that he had the exact same impression that I did, that she was just doing so well. And in my experience, that was not uncommon, where she handled calls so well. Like a lot of people mentioned, she was tall and thin. Obviously, cops were always sizing people up. People were contacting new officers. But in my time with her, I saw her mindset defy her stature. Like I said, when I would teach her something, there was no hesitation to apply it. We had one day we were out making proactive contacts, some of which are consensual. There's no probable cause to detain people. And we had about 3 in a row where it was, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And they're like, "Nope," and they walk right by her. And I was like, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But you can kind of try to build rapport, even if they're walking mid-stride. You can kind of like, "Hey, why not?" Like, you can talk to them a little. So the next person we contacted, I had recently contacted, and I knew they were on parole, so I was like, that gives us a little wiggle room. She doesn't know that. I didn't tell her that. And we walk up to him, and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Starts trying to build a conversation. And she's like, "Can I get your name?" And he's starting to be hesitant. He's like, "Well, I don't really want to." And she bluntly looks at him and goes, "Why not?" And I was like, whoa, that was kind of on me. I told her to say that. So eventually got his name, went through that process. But it was just, I had just said that to her, and she immediately was taking it and applying it. So we discussed a little more, and the next couple contacts just got better and better. And that's just how my whole process was with her, my whole experience. She just constantly improved. Another story I want to mention was a call we responded to that had it came out as a very violent domestic violence call. When we arrived on scene, the suspect fled in a vehicle, and a vehicle pursuit ensued. Within a few minutes of the pursuit, the suspect rammed us, causing me to hit my head on our rifle rack in our car. It's all made out of metal. Our vehicle was not disabled. We were able to continue on. This pursuit went another 45 minutes, and the entire time, well, not the entire time. Anytime a trainee drives, it's extremely nerve-wracking, let alone a vehicle pursuit, as all the training officers know. But within a few minutes, I saw Lauren was in complete control of the vehicle. She was paying attention to the radio. She was watching what the suspect was doing. And within minutes, I was like, she's got this. I don't even have to worry about it. We're good to go. So that pursuit continued on. Once it ended, we got the suspect in custody. I was transported to the hospital. And Lauren rode with me. We're surrounded by other officers, paramedics, firefighters. We get to the hospital. There's nurse staff. And I'm just trying to think in my head debrief points and how well she did and how proud I was of her. I'm glad she's okay, glad our other officers are okay. And the whole time other people had been around us, so she wasn't saying much, she was just kind of going along. And the second the last person walked out of the hospital room with us, she looked at me and said, "Sir, I'm so sorry you got hurt. I'm so sorry I didn't move the car quick enough." And it absolutely floored me, because I was like, that wasn't her fault. This was the suspect actions, and I could not believe that that's what she had probably been waiting that entire time to say, that probably the whole pursuit to say that. And I quickly told her, like, that's not on you, that's them. You kept us safe, and you did excellent. And that really just showed me, I could already see she was becoming a good officer. It just showed me how good of a person she was as well. In my time as a training officer, I've had something like 20 trainees. She's the first one I've ever given our highest rating to, which is a superior, and it was for the way she drove in that pursuit and just her remaining calm and steadfast during how erratic that incident was. After every critical incident we do debriefs just to talk about tactics, things that happened, things we can do better, things we learned. And we had that debrief, and one of the things in this debrief, we had several trainees with several brand new officers, and something I brought up to them was something I love about law enforcement is how when we need help, everybody comes to help us. Once it was broadcast that we had been rammed, we had San Diego police helping, San Diego's helicopter, El Cajon K9s, we're asking CHP for resources, and everybody was sending things to us. And this was while there was 3 other pursuits going on in the county, some of which were in the same San Diego neighborhoods. So they heard what happened and they were there to help. Lauren was sitting next to me in that debrief, and I didn't think the next one I sat in would be for her. And yet I saw again how much law enforcement supports each other as well as the community. And that makes me proud to be a part of this and honored to be able to stand up here for a few minutes and just say how great of a person and great of an officer she was. One of the greatest fears of a training officer is letting trainees off training before they're ready and before they're safe to do so, and none of us had any doubt in our mind that she was ready. This job is not meant for everybody, but she was definitely meant for it. I have a daughter, and I have another one coming soon, and I'll be a very proud father if they grow up to be as driven, determined, kind, and tenacious as Lauren was. Again, I'm sorry for your loss, and thank you for letting me speak and say a few things about her.
To those who don't know me, I'm Lauren's romantic partner, and I really won the lottery with her. She's the love of my life, and she always will be. She was my matching puzzle piece, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful she found family in La Mesa, and I know she would be honored to have so many people coming together in memory of her. I've always been a kind of stoic, serious person, but Lauren was someone I could be myself around. She was so wonderfully funny, playful, and weird in the best way possible, and I had the privilege of being able to see her in this light. She loved the botanical gardens, and she loved her plants really passionately. She loved Uncrustables. She loved Peach Monster energy drinks. When she was hungry, she would ask me to get her nummies. I packed her lunches in Academy, and she loved eating rice, butter, salt, and shredded deli turkey. Lauren, I still imagine you coming through that door, coming back at 6:30 in the morning, calling your dad while Bo greeted you. Bo misses his mom, and your fiery love for him illustrates the kind, generous, beautiful person you are. You're someone who puts yourself before others, and it has now become evident to everyone. I always told you I felt like I was put on this planet to take care of you, but these past 4 years prove it was you who took care of me. You've always been the most caring person. You cared more about me than I cared about myself. You scheduled my doctor's appointments. You made me stop bad habits, and not just that, your presence saved my life, and I'm eternally grateful. I really loved your spunk, your fiery attitude, and your bold sarcasm, as well as your warmth and tenderness. I loved your enthusiasm for little things, like going down every aisle in the grocery store, being so excited about the hummingbirds flying in our backyard, perusing plant shops and going to the farmer's market. You loved when we made your grandmother's chocolate cake. You loved playing mahjong. You loved driving through random neighborhoods in La Jolla when I'd go dive just so you can look at the big houses. You found so much joy making gingerbread houses and coloring in your coloring book. You were so excited about buying a home in North County, getting married, having a honeymoon in Tuscany, and having your yearly Easter picnics. You had so much pain you overcame, and I'm so proud of you. I always struggled with being overly negative, but you were the antithesis to that. So thank you for teaching me to find beauty in every day. Thank you for always being by my side. You taught me to live with purpose. Thank you. And even though you may not be here physically, I'll be with you as long as you want, now and forever. You actually told me in a circumstance like this, life must go on, and it will. And this is the debt that I and everyone will pay for you by replicating your adoration of life. And today we celebrate the person you are, but we will all always love you.
When I had Lauren, it was a literal dream come true. I had always wanted to have 2 girls, and she was the first of my 2 amazing blessings. She was the cutest, happiest baby, and I never took for granted the incredibly close relationship that we had, even when Lauren struggled at times, and I worried about her. Our closeness and connection was a huge gift in my life that I never took for granted. She was adored by her sister Margot, and some of my favorite memories are the interactions and experiences that the 2 of them had together over the years. Our relationship grew and evolved into a very healthy and beautiful adult one, which again, I felt gratitude for every day. She had many nicknames for me, but most often when she called me, she would say, "Hi, buddy," or "Hi, friend," because although we were mother and daughter, we had a genuine, deep friendship and a real, authentic connection. We talked on the phone often and had a very playful, humorous connection. Although she became quite independent and able to take care of herself, she also looked to me for advice on the important things, the emotional things, and I tried to respond to her in a way that was respectful of her own autonomy, but also give her some suggestions she might not naturally think of. She was more of a logical thinker, not always highly emotional, but incredibly kind, compassionate, and caring. She had matured, and recently she had told me, "Mom, since I turned 25, my brain has stopped growing and I'm now fully mature." She was so happy to meet her partner of the last few years, Miles, who definitely took good care of her and expanded her palate. They were very happy together and recently had adopted a sweet cat named Bo, who Miles will certainly cherish and take wonderful care of. At this stage in her life, she was very happy. She was confident. She loved being a police officer and all that came with it. She loved the people around her, and she was truly coming into her own. For this, I will always be grateful. And although there will always be a hole in my heart for my dear, sweet Lauren, I will try to stay open to the joy that I know she would have wanted for me and for all of us.
Thank you all for being here today. Lauren was not only my older sister and my only sibling, but my best friend. Until October 20th, I had never lived a single moment of my existence without her. I don't know how I will live the rest of my time on this earth without her, but I know that I will. I know that Lauren will live on in my heart and the hearts of all who loved her. No one has ever protected me in the way that she did, and I wish more than anything that I could have protected her. There was a time when Lauren didn't always love life, but the last several years were filled with so much joy and fulfillment after overcoming so many obstacles with so much grace and surviving so much pain. Lauren loved her job. She loved the people she served with. She loved the people she gave her life to help. And she was living her dream in so many ways. She was strong, smart, beautiful, brave, and hilarious. My favorite memories of her will always be the moments we spent laughing to tears over nothing. I'm shattered to know we will never have a moment like that again. Lauren loved animals like no one I have ever seen. Her cat Bo was her world, and I know that he will be so well loved and taken care of by Miles. She loved children too, and was a nanny for many years before she became an officer, and she loved the children she cared for so much. There are so many beautiful things in this life that Lauren deserved to experience, and I will do my best to experience them for her. I am comforted in the knowledge that her final years and even her final moments on this earth were spent doing what she loved and was meant to do. I am so grateful that she found her calling, even though her life was cut unbelievably short. And I hope that those who continue to serve will carry Lauren's memory in their hearts and lead with the same gentle and loving spirit that drove her every single day. I hope that this loss can drive us all to be better, to be kinder, and to be more loving to everyone we encounter. I know in my heart that's what Lauren would have wanted. She would want those that loved her to find joy in her memory, not pain. She was fearless, so we must now be fearless in her honor. We must choose to love fearlessly in the face of pain. What I ask of all of you now is to never stop talking about Lauren, never stop sharing your stories and memories of her, even to those who never got the chance to know her, especially with those who didn't get the chance. Talk about her, think about her, remember her. Do not allow grief to erase the pain, to erase the joy she brought into this world. I never thought I would have to do a second of this life without you, Lauren. I found so much comfort in the thought that no matter who or what I lost, I would always have you beside me. What comes next will be the hardest thing I will ever have to do, to remain not just alive, but living without you here with me. I will be fighting this battle for the rest of my life, but I will find a way for you. I love you, Lauren.
I'm Lauren. Jesus. I'm David. I'm Lauren's dad. I'm going to repeat a couple of things that were said up here. I just can't take them out now, but here we go. After an interaction with some detectives in college, some of them good, some of them not so good, Lauren decided she was going to dedicate her life to law enforcement. She spent some months looking around at different agencies, including those with a national perspective, but she decided she wanted to serve a community, and that helped her focus on joining the police force. First thing she did was learn about the academy. She looked at the physical requirements and said, man, I can't do these. But she still had a year and a half left in college, so she started training. And she thought, at least I can give myself a chance. Well, when she showed up, she wasn't going to win the 3-mile competition, and she wasn't going to dominate any of the physical elements, but with the support of the other recruits, and leaving everything she had on the table, she got through it. Shooting with handguns was another matter. There she brought some considerable skills, and after just a couple of weeks of training, there were only 2 people in her section that were shooting better than her. Surprising, since half the men in the class were, in the section, had former military experience. One of the trainers made a change in her grip, and a couple of weeks after that, there was no one in front of her. She was at the top. It's ironic then that the shotgun test you heard about tripped her up. It was a night shoot. She had to drive through an obstacle course, pull out her gun, shoot each of 2 targets 1 time each. Unlike live fire, when you shoot that target, it doesn't fall over. She made a mistake. She shot the same target twice. She did get a second opportunity, but that thing got in her head. And the next morning, when I woke up, I saw 3 texts, 1 line each. I failed. I'm out. I'm sorry. I called her and I said, you got nothing to be sorry about. You didn't let anybody down. And by the way, didn't you tell me about some people that had a second chance at the academy if the TOs and their chief really liked them and wanted them back? She said, yeah, that's a possibility, but the TOs would have to support me. They did. And the chief would have to give it his ultimate approval. But I don't know. The physical training was just so hard. The only reason I could get through it was our section was so supportive of one another, so together. Not all the sections were like that. An hour later, she called back and she said, you know, I could do better in the 3-mile time, and there's always something to learn in the scenario test. Maybe I could win the Top Shot award. And the taser, I can take that. But that pepper spray test in the face, followed by having to get into a fight right after it. She said, I don't know. That's going to be hard. A day later, she called me back and she said, you know, I looked at the video, how I fought after that pepper spray test. I can do better than that. I can bring more intensity. And I thought, damn, you just turned your biggest fear into a source of she was going to get through it. I said to her right then, nothing's going to stop you. And nothing did. She still needed the support of the TOs and the chief, but she had it. And she was invited back. Because of the timing of how the next academy was going to start, it was going to be 6-7 months before she'd have the chance to do that shotgun test. She didn't wait a second. She was at the range on her own time, on her own dime. She could take her handgun to the range to shoot, but the department wouldn't give her a shotgun, so she rented one. She bought ammo. She spent off hours there. And she said, you know, I found a replica of the shotgun I'm going to have to use for this test. It's got the same weight, it's got the same balance, same trigger pull. I bought it for her. She'd dry fire with that at home. And when I came back a month after that, we went to the range to shoot shotguns. That gun looked like it was a part of her body. She said, I got to pass this. There is no plan B. So she left nothing to chance. And she passed that test. When I think back of Lauren's life, I can't remember any permanent failures, only temporary setbacks, followed by lots of hard work, determination, and eventually a challenge overcome. That was a skill she showed in high school. She showed it again in college. And when she needed it most, she had it in the academy. Having graduated the academy, off she went to La Mesa as a trainee. And Officer Persitz already described the phases. And while in phase 2, I'm going to tell a little bit more of that story. I got a couple different details. So they get a call, as he said, domestic violence. Man strangling a woman outside the home. Officer Persitz and Lauren were the 3rd car there just by seconds. Right away they noticed, this is the same guy that had been here the previous week. In their estimation, he'd beaten the woman then, but she wouldn't cooperate with testimony, so there was nothing he could do. Well, now he's back and he's trying to kill her. They'd run priors on him the prior week, and they knew he had 4 or 5 previous felony assaults on officers, which, my God, begs the question, why was this man out? A chase ensued because of the order in which they arrived. Lauren and Officer Persitz were the 3rd car. Pretty quickly, the suspect made a wrong turn down a dead-end street, and they knew he was going to have to come back. They tried to get their spikes out to spike the tires so they could end the chase, but the guy turned around and got back too quickly. Lauren spun her car around faster than the other 2 drivers, so now she's in the lead. They went so fast, they lost the other 2 squad cars. Only Lauren and Officer Persitz kept up. High-speed chases are dangerous, but this was not someone they could let get away. Lauren said to me after the event, she said, I was going so fast, I either had my foot all the way down on the gas or all the way down on the brake. There was smoke coming out of that thing. I thought I was going to break it. as Officer Persitza said, normally when a Phase 2 trainee starts driving, I'm terrified just going around the block. But as he said, after a couple of minutes, it was clear she had this under control. And the chase went on for close to an hour. When it was over, it would involve, as he said, the suspect saying, "I'm not going to stop, you're going to have to kill me." The ramming of the car, gunfire, a foot chase that involved Officer Persitza, and in Officer Persitza's words, a great big San Diego cop, and Lauren all converging on the suspect. Officer Persitza said that big San Diego guy put his head down to make a linebacker tackle, and he took me out, knocked me off my feet. Somehow Lauren got in between us and controlled him and cuffed him. Whew. Lauren could not bring the body of a linebacker to such a confrontation, but she did bring the heart of a warrior that day, a heart that was otherwise filled with compassion. The Officer Persitza already talked about the Outstanding Award. I'll just add that as he described it to me, well, there are several categories. One of them is not responding to training. You don't want that one. That's not good. Then there's needs improvement. And they were told when they came in as trainees, don't worry about getting a needs improvement. You're a trainee. Everybody needs improvement. Then there's satisfactory. Satisfactory is pretty good. It means everything's going great. And as Officer Persitza described outstanding to me, it represents performance above and beyond the level of a trained officer, which Lauren was not. And he said he'd never given out one of those before. Well, as you know, now he's given out two, and you know what they were for. She was never so proud. I'm going to miss the hugs, the visits, the trips, most of all those calls at 6:30 in the morning. They were like gold. I'll have my memories, but most of all, we can all take comfort that she reached her dream with the help of the Academy TOs and further training from her fellow officers. She became a fully fledged officer of the Mesa Police Department and all the opportunities to serve with compassion that come with that. Nothing else would have made her half as happy. Thank you.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love. I wanna leave my footprints on the sands of time. Know there was something that meant something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. Leave something to remember, so they won't forget I was here.
I'm Hannah Allen. I have the privilege of being the chaplain for the La Mesa Police Department. As we've all seen Lauren's words and heard them said many times, it's always been my passion to serve others, and there's never been a doubt in my mind that being in law enforcement is what I'm meant to do. Law enforcement isn't a job you fall into. It's a calling you pursue with your whole heart. It asks everything of you before you ever wear the uniform, and even more once you do. Lauren wanted it, she worked for it, and she earned it every single day. Her story is one of perseverance, dedication, grace, and courage. Lauren didn't just hear the call of duty, she answered it completely and wholeheartedly. She listened, she learned, and she connected. And she served with compassion that changed the people around her. Those who are her friends and family know her gentle heart and her headstrong drive. Those who worked beside her saw her strength and humility. Those she served felt her sincerity and care. And all of us, family, friends, and law enforcement, are better for having known her. Today we come together brokenhearted. We carry both the weight of our loss and the pride of having shared life with someone so extraordinary. Let us remember, Lauren's call of duty does not fall silent. It now echoes in all of us. To live as she did is to go beyond what is required, to show up with courage and heart. The ripple of Lauren's impact lives on, creating waves through every act of love, moment of integrity, and gesture of care that follows. Her light lives on in each of us. My hope and my prayer is this: may comfort find her family and hold them close. May strength uphold her brothers and sisters in blue. May we remember Lauren not only in this moment, but every moment forward. May we see the world through her lens. May we honor her legacy with our thoughts, words, and actions. And may her memory be a lasting blessing to all who know and loved her. Belle, David, Margot, and Miles, we love Lauren. Our hearts are aching with you, and we make this promise to you. We will carry on in gratitude, service, and love in honor of our forever hero, Officer Lauren Craven. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah. David, Belle, Margot, and Miles, thank you for the intimate sharing, the intimate picture you gave us of her life. We so appreciate it. I want to thank you for all those pictures too, because those that knew her well and maybe many that didn't, now we know her a little bit better. So thank you for opening up your lives to us so we can know her better. I don't know if anybody caught, though, her love for peach monster drinks. Did you notice the peach baby food, the peach cobbler baby food? If you were nodding, it started very young, very young. So thank you for that. I hope that those of you that have stories, academy mates, training staff, anybody that knew her, I hope you'll continue to share, find a way to share with the Craven family and with their Blue family. Those stories that will come to you in the days, weeks, months, and maybe even years to come, something will come to your mind. Please share with the family. Let them know a little bit more about the picture that maybe they didn't get to experience, but that will enrich their lives going forward. That would bless them, I know. In a few moments, I'm just going to close us with a short prayer. After I close in prayer, there's going to be 2 flag presentations to Lauren's family. Following the flag presentations, I will be dismissing you to move outside for the honors that will be held there. Please remain seated until I dismiss you. Thank you for that. Let's pray. May the Almighty bless you and protect you, showing you mercy and kindness. In the words of Margot, be better and be kinder, granting you his favor and giving you his peace. And we pray these things in your name. Amen. At this time, if I could ask all uniformed personnel only to please exit out one of the 3 exit doors and go out to the outside patio. La Mesa PD, please stay in place.
For all uniformed personnel who are exiting, members of the Honor Guard will direct you where to stand as we form up for Officer Craven's exit. Once again, all uniformed personnel, as you are exiting, members of the Honor Guard will direct you on where to stand before Officer Craven's exit.
If I could have any remaining command staff and elected officials, please head to the patio, please. And with the exception of La Mesa PD and the family, if we could have all the rest of the civilians please exit at this time. Thank you.
For everyone who is still exiting the church, very soon the Honor Guard will escort the casket and Officer Craven's family to the front of the fountain. Ushers will be assisting to keep the main walkway clear. Thank you for your cooperation, and again, stand by for further word. At this time, the San Diego Emerald Society Drum and Pipe Corps will play the tribute song, Going Home. We will now have a riderless horse escorted by the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. This time-honored tradition began in the Middle Ages to honor fallen leaders and warriors who were killed in battle. Today, we use it to honor police officers who were killed in the line of duty. You will notice the boots reversed in the stirrups as the horse is escorted away. This practice is upheld to symbolize the image of our fallen officer, looking back upon her department for the last time before she departs from us to heaven. The United States Border Patrol Rifle Team will now commence a 21-gun salute with 7 Honor Guard members firing 3 shots each for a total of 21 shots. This high honor is only given to police officers who have died in the line of duty. Please be mindful, there will be loud blanks firing near the front patio area. At this time, the San Diego Sheriff Air Support Unit, known as Astria, will conduct a flyover. At this time, the La Mesa Police Dispatch will simulcast Officer Craven's End of Watch broadcast.
Unit 204, Officer Craven. Unit 204, Officer Craven. No response. Attention all units, all frequencies. Please join me in paying tribute to the life of Officer Lauren Craven. Lauren was hired on February 26, 2024, and after completing the academy and field training, she was released to work on her own on July 29, 2025. Lauren genuinely loved helping people, even if it was something as simple as giving a friend advice or answering a question for a stranger. She had positive impact on her teammates and the community, and an infectious smile that captured the room. She showed a dedicated passion to the community and the law enforcement profession. Her final assignment was working La Mesa Police Department Patrol, Beat 4. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of our fallen officer. Every one of us on the department will forever hold Lauren in our hearts. Gone, but not forgotten. ID number 1324 is 1042. Station 1.
Center! Hey!
The La Mesa Police Department thanks you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to honor Lauren and the Craven family. We are very grateful for your amazing love and support. We ask for everyone's cooperation to remain in the fountain area until the motor escort has left the parking lot. There will be a private ceremony at El Camino for Lauren's family and the La Mesa Police Department. Please stay safe out there, and God bless.